Hey everyone, welcome back to Shelf Life Lego for another city update. And since my city is still under construction with the lighting and whatnot, I'm just going to go ahead and spend our time here at the build desk showing you this week's project. So this week's project will be based off of set 7848 Toys R Us truck from 2010. So here we are starting with our normal 16 by 16 mils plate, and we have it tiled and plated ready to go. And in looking at some of the old pictures of Toys R Us, they had these random blue and green tiles throughout the floor, so I wanted to at least incorporate that a little bit just to give it a little bit of nod to the real Toys R Us store. Although I think it's done in blue and green, I had the dark blue and dark green, so I just went with that. So to start out with, I'm just going to put in our checkout counter here, just kind of as that came with the set with these 1x2 panels. And then for this area here, I guess with the computer at the checkout, I'm just going to leave just this hinge piece with no screen or no keyboard. So I tried building this set and modifying it several different times, and I just couldn't come up with anything I really liked. I tried to, most likely just like most people would, just try to cram as many toys and things into a 16 by 16 footprint as I could, but it just never seemed right. It's a big department store, and you're trying to fit, aisles and multiple different toy items in a small space. Some things you can kind of use creative license to get across, but that just to me wasn't selling it. So I decided to go in a different direction this time. So for this build, I decided to do something a little different, much different than most of my other builds. Usually I try to cram as much detail into a small space as I possibly can, or make it look nice, but this time I want to do the opposite. Since I couldn't find something I liked to fill it up, I figured why not do the exact opposite and try my hand at making something look abandoned and desolate. Now, in theory, that seems like it'd be pretty easy, just don't put anything in it, but that is really, really boring. And while I want it to be boring and run down, I don't want it to be just an empty shell. I want to add a little bit of effort to it and try to make it look abandoned and see how I do. So one of the things that this allowed me to do is use up some of these yellowed white pieces that I wouldn't typically get to use in any other build. I figured for this build it would be absolutely perfect. So I have some new mixed in with a lot of these yellowed old pieces, and I figured that would make the building look a little rundown, not taken care of. So that's what I went with for this build. And then I tried to do the same idea as the real set with the blue facade out front. I figured I would keep that. And I'll go ahead and start putting in some of the walls so you don't have to watch me do all that. So I'm going to pause right here and show you the progress. I have some empty shelves. These 2x8 rail pieces do well as shelves, and you can see a lot of these yellowed pieces in here that I put in the wall that are kind of gross looking, but again, in this kind of build, I think it works. And so, just like childhood, this has been left behind and looks sad. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and put in a rat. He still thinks Toys R Us is cool, so he's hanging out here, and it gives me a chance to use something. I don't know where else I'm going to use a rat in the city, so this seemed like it worked pretty well. And then I used this mini build from set 10249, the Winter Toy Shop from 2015, and so we have a bracket with just a couple tiles and clips on it. And then these 1x2 modified plates with a bar. And then kind of the same thing on the other side. Another bracket with tiles, and we're going to go ahead and add modified brick in there, and then we'll put this in here like that. And so from that build, I'm making the Jack in the Box. Then we have this one-on-one or one-by-one round. Put that down in here. And then just a bar with one of these little half pins. We'll put that in here. And then the only difference I'm going to do is, instead of using the Jack in the Box face, I'm going to use a skeleton face, because he got left behind too. And also, using the Jack in the Box kind of reminds me of the Rudolph movie with the Island of Misfit Toys and that creepy Jack in the Box. So we're going to put him over here just staring out the window. And I'll keep adding up the walls. All right, so I got the rest of the walls up, and you'll see on this side there's the 1x2 clip and snot bricks over here. And in the original set, it came with some plates that they put on like Lego sets, and like I think there's a remote control hovercraft, and I think a remote control car or robot or something. And they had it on like clear shelves like this for the Lego sets, and then the remote control items were on these 1x1 round plates. But since we're not selling anything, I'm just going to put this in here. More empty shelves and empty dreams. And then I'll put the Jack in the Box back in. And then on this other side, I thought it would be fitting to put a giant cobweb up. And when you see a cobweb, we're going to have a spider. Again, I don't really know where else I would use this in the city, so this seemed fitting. So at least they still have some loyal shoppers. But that is pretty much going to do it for the inside of the build. Like I said, desolate, dirty. Kind of how I remember Toys R Us before it went out of business. So the original set did come with these cool yellow frames, though. And, well, we're going to add some sticker cracks to these, I guess, to give it an additional life without going overboard. So we're going to put a crack in that one, and then another crack in the other side, and then just the door. I think I have a little 1x1 lock tile I might put on there later on, but I have no idea where it is. And then finally, this front facade piece, and we'll put in place. And then add these Toys R Us stickers. And like I said, I think that's going to do it for the majority of the build. I think it accomplishes what I meant it to. And if Toys R Us has a boom and starts doing well again, then maybe I'll fill it. But for now, I'm just going to leave it like this. And that's why I didn't put a computer on here. I just wanted to leave it look like it was, someone took it in a rush and left the moorings there. All right, onto the roof. So as always, I start out with some basic plates for the roof, nothing special. And we're going to add a 2x2 brick here. And I'm actually just going to put this on. And then for the sign or for the roof, I'm actually going to use set 40228, Jeffrey and Friends from 2016. He's pretty terrifying, to be honest, but I had him when I had other plans for what I was going to do with the Toys R Us. But yeah, I think right now we're just gonna plop him on top, and Yeah, I think it makes sense. They always had those big inflatable Jeffries in the store. Um, so I think it looks good. He is pretty terrifying or pretty dead in the face. But I also was thinking about doing the using the 1 by 1 round tiles with the letters on them, using two X's for the eyes as representation of a I guess dead business, but pretty dark. But I'm open to suggestions if you think I should do that, or any other suggestions you have about this build. And I usually take you into the city and show you what it looks like in place. But again, we're in shambles, so I will do that at a later date and then show you. So for now, I think that's going to do it. So like, comment, and subscribe. All of those help. And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.